This is Vivek Atray, and this is a live session for viewers on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. A very happy festive season to all, first of all. And this is a session on interpersonal relationships at life, at work. All of us have to live with people. We cannot live in isolation unless we're marooned on an island, like some people have been in history. But it's very difficult for us to get by and succeed in life without having people in our lives who we can relate to, talk to, be comfortable with, and get along with. How can we succeed or be happy without getting along with anyone? So, how can we get along with people? How can we work together with them? How can we succeed while making sure that they are happy as well as us? The ultimate goal of life, as I often say, is happiness. And that actually means that we are in a position to give happiness to others as well as receive happiness from them. Sometimes it does happen that we forget or we become a little curt or we start doing things which we shouldn't. We start saying things which we shouldn't. We start becoming a little impatient, perhaps irritable, perhaps testy, and then the problems begin. So, why not take care to maintain relations at work and life in a manner that is harmonious, balanced, and creative and cheerful? Let's take an example to start with. Okay, IAS officers and IPS officers, let's start with them. I have some background. So, let's say that although background is a good joke, because recently I was seeing a joke where a person is being interviewed and the interviewer asks that person, so what is your background? And he says, ma'am, it's the Golden Gate Bridge, which is the background behind him on the wall. In my case, it's a painting. But seriously speaking, it is very important for us to get along with people no matter what the background. And the story that I'm going to talk about is that IAS, IPS officers, just like any other human beings, are susceptible to feeling low, jealous, in pain, if not treated properly by others. And human beings are like that, and nobody is superhuman here. So, what happens is that often people become testy, impatient. Professional rivalry is a good thing. And I've seen a lot of officers who are very good at their work and they make sure their department comes, uh, first in every assessment, in every competition. There are competitions at times. Their district will come ahead of the bunch. But sometimes it happens that we become too attached to our success. And at the cost of others and at the cost of teamwork, we become a little too narrow minded, perhaps, looking at the smaller picture instead of the bigger picture. So in the IAS, IPS, I've seen some very good professionals, professional rivalries which are constructive, which are, harmonious, wholesome, where people like in cricket, you could say Gavaskar and Kapil Dev. I remember there was a time when they had tensions. They had obviously professional rivalry, but they also had captaincy being tossed between one and the other. You would remember that Kapil Dev was the captain in '83 in the World Cup. Then '85 it was Gavaskar who was the captain in the World Championship. They both won their tournaments, and then '87 again Kapil Dev was the captain in the World Cup. So there was musical chairs happening, and there was a bit of tension. Kapil Dev was dropped for playing a rash shot, perhaps, and Gavaskar said he will never score another 50. Kapil Dev being dropped was a huge earthquake, although he was dropped only for one test match. But they made up. And today, if you look at Gavaskar and Kapil Dev, they played together as colleagues, as teammates, maybe as rivals in a sense. And a healthy rivalry is always good. I get the man of the match 6 times, and he got it 5 times in the last 2 years. So, I'm happy about that. No harm in that. But if I'm going to pull somebody down, if I'm going to spoil somebody's chances, then the problem starts. So today you see Kapil Dev and Gavaskar praising each other to the skies in their commentary, in their memories of the past, in how they recall things that happened earlier, and they have this great respect for each other. Let's take the example of Mahesh Bhupati and Leander Paes. Now, there's a problem. I have a big grouse with them as a sports lover, and I am involved in various sports activities, including Playwright Foundation, which we've started, where we are helping some sports persons, and we also organize the J.P. Atray Memorial Cricket Tournament. So Bhupati and Paes, they could have won many a Grand Slam title, and they did, but they could have won many, many more. They could have won third doubles Grand Slam. They were that good at that time as world number one of tennis doubles. Bhupati and Paes, superb volleying, superb athleticism, superb service, especially Bhupati's, and the return of serve of Leander Paes. What a team they were. But human elements came in, and human jealousies came in, and the human conduct is okay with emotional intelligence. But then when you lack that emotional intelligence, perhaps, when you're not able to see eye to eye with someone, despite the fact that you can become world beaters in cohesion or in collaboration with that person, then there is short-sightedness. And they had to fall from world number one. They stopped playing together. They did win Grand Slam tournaments with other players later, but it wasn't the same, and it wasn't India. So India wasn't that happy, Indian sports lovers. And Paes winning with Navratilova or with Martina Hingis or whatever it was. Bhupati also won a couple of doubles tournaments later. So what is it that we need to do to maintain these interpersonal relations despite professional rivalries, despite the fact that there may be problems, despite the fact that we are human and we may feel low and bad at times at what somebody said, what somebody did? These examples that I've given you point to the fact that we need to respect others. Even if you don't love somebody, could be at work, could be at home. Two best friends working together for 30 years would probably do a great job of it in office because they're best friends, they love each other's company, they have coffee every day together, and they share their lunch, and they work together harmoniously and passionately, and they're fantastic. That's too idealistic. Human beings are such that one day somebody will say something to us that will pinch. So the boss might say that, Naresh is getting better than you. And, Suresh might think that, oh no, I want to be better than Naresh. So that means that rivalry starts. The seed of jealousy or something or the other is planted. And that creates a little bit of havoc in the mind. Can we respect that person even if we don't love that person? Can we agree to disagree? Can we agree to disagree? These are the things that matter. And they will give us a lot of success, a lot of happiness. Can I live with someone and work with someone for 35 years of my career if I hate that person? Every day I go to work, I hate that person. I hate the sight of that person. And I have to work with him or her for 35 years. In government, you are often saddled with the same team. If you're not in a transferable job post, you might have the same people. If you're working for Coca-Cola in the legal segment of that company and you're contesting cases on behalf of Coca-Cola, that's your job. You're a lawyer and you have another lawyer and you both grow together in the career and you hate each other. How are you going to succeed? How's the company going to succeed? They'll sooner or later come to know that these guys can't work together. In my book, Finding Success Within, which also the image is shown on the screen, I talk about this fact that if you cannot work with someone, if you cannot live with someone, but you have to, you must learn to agree to disagree. Okay, we don't see eye to eye. I don't like this person, but let's not hate each other. Let us have professional respect, mutual respect, or at least a working relationship. Can I have a working relationship? Can I have something which does not spoil my work at least? Even if I don't want to talk to this person for coffee or for lunch or after 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock, I'm not going to talk to him at all. But at work, can I work with him? Many an actor may have been a rival with the other hero. but they work together. Devanand, Raj Kapoor, Dilip Kumar in earlier times, Ranbir Kapoor, Ranveer Singh today, they may be very close friends, they may be rivals as well. But can they work together? Virat Kohli and Ashwin, not doing too well on the relationship front at the moment. Ashwin was made to sit out in the test series in England. We had 4 test matches out of 5, and he was made to sit out. He's a match winner, he's a leading Indian wicket taker. And Kohli is the captain. But India won or almost won the series because the last test match is to be played next year. But they don't get on. But can they play together? Or are they going to start fighting on the field? Till now, that hasn't happened. They will play together. In the World Cup, if Ashwin gets to play games, they'll be on the field. They'll have to talk to each other. It has happened in the past. Professional rivalry is one thing. Hatred is another. Of course, we are human. Human beings will, keep on harboring fears, worries, hatred, jealousies. But can it be minimized, this kind of tendency? Yes, I've got a lot of questions coming in, so I will be answering your questions. Please stay tuned. And in the last 7 minutes or so, we will definitely take up these questions. So, can I be respectful enough of my organization, my country, my team, whatever it is, to work with a person who is not my favorite? Or I can't even stand this person. Can I make myself respect him or her to the extent that I can at least work with him? Let's talk about families. Let's talk about home. 2 brothers, they fought with each other and then they went off somewhere and the whole world collapsed. The boundary wall came into the 2 families. And then that Ambuja cement ad, bhaiya ye diwar tootti kyun nahi hai, when they want to break it, which is on the funny side. But the point is, why should 2 brothers be squabbling? Why the squabble? Why the fight? Why the cantankerous relationship? Can they be harmonious enough to be respectful of each other and their families? Often property becomes the cause. Often new generations become the cause. Often marriage becomes the cause of a breakup in relationships between 2 brothers, 2 sisters, or whatever, sister brothers. Are we living in an era where blood and family ties don't matter, only materialism matters, only money matters, property matters, etc.? There's another ad where an old man is dying and unfortunately, and he is being asked to put another 0 in his will in favor of whoever he's putting the will in favor of. And there's a drop of water which falls onto that piece of paper. And the 0 is obliterated. And no more 0 there. So the 1 is obliterated, only zeros are there. What will you do? Narrow-mindedness, narrow gains, narrow thoughts, short-term perspectives, agendas, not going to give us too much. Not going to give us that happiness. Can we work in a manner that we will succeed and allow others to succeed? Can I live with people who I may not love, but I like, or I respect, or I can tolerate, or I can be with? I went to Missouri once and many a time, but once I went to speak on interpersonal relations, like I'm speaking now. And we had a hall full of senior government officers. And we were talking about this, and they were saying that, at times it does happen that we feel like pulling the other person's hair. But you have to work. You have to live. What about spouses, husbands and wives? Tension at times. The key is that they shouldn't take each other for granted. Now, I'm not a marriage counselor or relationship counselor. Not going to touch upon this one much. But can they not take each other for granted at least? This person has been in my life for 20 years. I can now talk as badly as I want. That doesn't work. Respect has to be there. Love has to be there, yes, but who am I to say that love has to be there? Respect definitely has to be there. And if we respect others, we respect our bosses, for example. I know many people who are otherwise very, they say, khokhar, aggressive, and brash, angry people. But when it comes to their boss, in front of their boss, they become bhigi billy, they become namby pamby, they become softies, buttering up the boss. I don't like to use stronger language than that. But making sure that the boss is very happy. Sir, yes, sir, madam, yes, sir. Of course, sir. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. You become yes men. But are you able to be genuine in your behavior with them and others? That's the key. I'm going to take one question here in the middle before I go on, and that is from Vihan. Vihan says, students feel negative at times. Yeah, Vihan, so that's not really the topic of today, but I can tell you two things. One, you have to win the battle of the mind. Whatever negativity is going to come in your life will come or not come, but your mind has to stay cheerful and positive. You cannot allow it to be negative, because the mind tells you whether you're going to succeed or fail. I'm sure you know that winning the battle of the mind is what matters. Whatever happens on the ground level is not going to hurt you. This is going to hurt you. So worrying, fretting, fearing something is going to be the process of negativity and defeat. The ultimate result may be your victory, but you already burnt yourself out by being. So the mind has to win. And another question from a LinkedIn user is, does rivalry also depend on maturity levels? Of course it does. What is maturity? Maturity is emotional intelligence. It's the ability to handle people and situations in a calm and balanced manner. That's my definition of emotional intelligence. A mature person will handle people and situations in a calm and balanced manner. He or she will not allow negativity to get the best of him, because negativity is only going to be creating difficulties. And maturity means that I don't react to situations without thinking, without provocation. Provocation can be anywhere, on the road, in the office. There are so many people on the road rage. Why does it happen? Because both people get provoked. If one of them is not reacting, the other person will stop shouting after a while, or even hitting. Of course, if somebody is hitting you, will be tempted to box him back. But the point is that in a slanging match or a shouting competition or an anger moment, can I be the one to say, okay, please listen, let's take this calmly. Let's come to an understanding. It's not easy in the heat of the moment. We are human. In office, somebody says something negative, and do I start shouting at him or complaining to the boss after every small thing? Not the best idea. Do I get provoked a lot by what people say and do? Do I get very much affected by what people think of me? My interpersonal relationship won't be very good if I keep on reacting negatively. Swearing, shouting, cursing, abusing. Maybe that's too much. But even being bitter, not going to help. Better to be buttering is also not good, and bitterness is also not good. So what is better? Better is being constructive, cheerful, and calm. In a relationship, calmness really works. Somebody expects me to be provoked, but I'm calm today, I'm not going to be provoked, then that person starts respecting me. You don't have to be the Munna Bhai Lage Raho types, Munna Bhai MBBS types, that you hug everybody you hate. That's not possible. But you try to buttress your relationships with some goodwill, some understanding, some patience, some balance, some calmness. These may be my favorite words. I use them a lot. You have seen a lot of my videos on YouTube, even TEDx talks you've seen. But are they going to be implemented by us? Nobody's perfect, right? So we are human. Nobody can have perfect relationships also. Both are human. The team is human. No Indian team or Bollywood movie crew or CEO's network of officials or executives is going to be perfect. There will be weaklings. And there will be weaklings in one strong person also. The CEO may be impeccable, brilliant, hardworking, outstanding, dynamic. Oh, once in a while, he may have a low moment or a wrong decision taken by him. Men must understand that women are the superior sex. There's no doubt about in my mind. They are more sensitive, more understanding, more sensible at times. And they don't get as easily provoked as men do. As far as I can see, emotional intelligence levels are higher. So relationship building. And of course, the joke is that husbands learn to stay quiet after many years, for some years. And then the wife also will stop badgering, because one retort, one wrong sentence or a sentence said in anger can hurt. There is a saying that, there's a joke which says that, if you have bad words said to you, they hurt more than even stones thrown at you. Of course, that may be debatable, but harsh words will definitely hurt. Say a teacher said something to a student in class 9, and that student has grown up now to the age of 40, and she or he still thinks about, why did this teacher make me stand on the table? Why did she or he insult me? Similarly, if that teacher said something in praise, that also the person remembers. So relationships are about encouraging each other. A teacher-student relationship, a parent-child relationship, communicating with understanding. So let's look at 3 points to sum up what I'm saying. Understanding each other. Responding after due consideration and not reacting without thinking. And number 3, encouraging each other rather than going on criticizing and complaining and being cynical. Encouraging others. Earning goodwill. Bohomi, camaraderie will develop. Friendship will develop. Understanding will develop. Teamwork will develop. It's not easy, as I said. We are human, but we try. We keep trying. There's a question that sometimes the boss only likes people who do buttering. Yeah, that's true, Sunny Guru. You're a guru yourself. Boss is also human. And the boss may like people who are buttering him. But are you going to keep on buttering people all your life and succeed? I don't believe in that philosophy. If your quality is good and your hard work is there and you are steady and stable and balanced, you will get what you want, ultimately. Maybe somebody who's buttering will get the early breakthrough. But you will get more wickets than that one in the long run of life. Okay, then LinkedIn user is saying we don't react in the initial few times, but if someone keeps on provoking, hurting you, what should we do? Yes, we are human. You're absolutely right. We can't be perfect. Even I lose my temper and cool at times. Earlier, I used to lose it much more. So I improved. I got better. That's the thing to do. Maybe you don't get as provoked as you used to. Maybe you don't become as provoked as you used to. That's very, very important. That's the way to be. And maybe I can end with a story and a very happy festive season to you all, of course. And let me also say that I keep coming with these podcasts or these live shows. And I'm going to start a new show called The Good Vibes Show, which is going to see me interviewing famous and celebrity type people, but also people who are full of good vibrations, positivity, cheerfulness. So watch out for that space. And let me end with a story that there was a man and a woman. They were about to get married and they didn't. Something happened. They got married to different people, but they were working together. They used to see each other every day. But circumstances had made them marry other people who were waiting for them at home. Now the relationship at work has to flourish, survive, carry on, without allowing personal emotions to come in. How do they work together for 20 more years or 30 years or 10 years, whatever? They did it by becoming friends. They realized that this is how we move forward. This may be a very perfect kind of situation, but if we look at ourselves, we can really, really work hard on our minds, and we can work hard on our individual thoughts. It is said that thoughts make the human being what he is or she is. Our thoughts are what we are. So, personal relationships, relationships at work, goodwill will all come if our thoughts are cheerful, positive, constructive, balanced, harmonious. One last tip: meditation will help, prayers will help, physical activity, sports, yoga, reading books make you calmer. All these things, more healthy. Healthier relationships, healthier you. If you've got pain in the back and you got back pain for 1 year, you get migraines, you're not healthy enough, because it may not be in your hand. How will you maintain harmonious relationships if you're in pain all day long or in difficulty, physical difficulty? You'll be snappy. So we need to look after our body, mind, and soul in order to bring our best to the table. Thank you very much. Good to see you, and we'll see you again on another topic which is going to come in soon. Let's stay connected on social media as well and keep sharing our ideas and thoughts. Thank you, and a very happy festive season once again.